Interested in working remotely from home with the ability to set your own schedule? Then contact Notary to Notary. Our online training program teaches individuals everywhere how to create and run successful notary businesses nationwide. Whether you're looking for supplemental or full-time income, we'll teach you the benefits of being a business owner, including time and financial freedom. Visit notarytonotary.com to learn more about our training program.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I want to show you guys how I was able to get started as a notary signing agent making $10,000 a month. When I first got started in 2015, I had no idea how lucrative this business was. So much so that I was able to quit my full-time job in 2016. Over the next few years, I've had so many successes and failures that I took all of them and bundled them up into a training program just for you. The training is available at notarytonotary.com, and there are two programs that you can register for: the Notary Signing Agent Training and the e-Notary Training. Make sure that your state licenses e-notaries before you register for that training. Once you register, you'll have instant access to the online training platform, as well as access to our live weekly interactive webinars with replay capabilities. Ready to get started? Register today at notarytonotary.com. Until then, happy signing.
All right. What has been your best day? Because I like to leave, like, on a high note. If you can remember, what has been your best day dollar-wise as a notary that you can remember?
That I remember?
Yeah.
I'd probably say closer to like 1,800 in one day. It was a snow day. That's what it was. Because no one wants to work on a snow day. So I took everybody's work. That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, that's dope. All right.
And that's loan closings. Loan closings and general notary work. Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me? Let's make sure you guys can hear me first before I start my rant rave for the day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me? Let me just make sure before we get started. It's been a while since I have been live on YouTube. Really live on Instagram too, I did go live on Instagram not too long ago, but it's been a while since I've been live on like TikTok, LinkedIn, all the things. And so I'm gonna get you guys all caught up to speed with what's going on in Notary world, a little bit of my world, and then of course we're gonna hop into your world and talk about what's going on in the notary space. Dorothy's doing that thing. Dorothy joined the last two challenges that we had, and she's doing her thing now. So I'm really excited about that. And so if this is your first time hearing my voice, it's so funny. I ran into one of my students at it was at a grocery store, a post office, and they were like, I haven't seen you on YouTube. And I was just like, I know, I took a little break from streaming. It's funny because he was just like, he followed everything that I said and taught, and he's been doing the business now. I think he said 2 years. And he's just like, he said the same. He said, I said, I'm so proud of you. He said, it's really not hard. It's not hard. Like, you just follow the steps and then you'll be fine. He said, yeah, just follow your training, watch all your videos, and just implement it. And he says the easiest money I've ever made. And so this is your first time listening to me. Definitely introduce yourself. I love being able to connect with all of my followers, everybody who follows me, talks, works with me, does anything with me. I like to make sure I try to build a more one-on-one relationship with as many students as I can. Of course, it's impossible to do with all of you guys, but as many people as I can, I do try to do that. Dorothy in particular, she's actually in Virginia, and so we have been communicating a little bit more. I've been sending her jobs that I could not do. Speaking of, I just got one that I'm not probably going to be able to do, so I probably will call you when I got this live. I just thought about that. But it's for later today, so I'll see if you're available. But anyway, and so she was in the challenge. And so if I can't do something and you're local to me, a lot of times I'll just send it to someone who's local to me and just give, oh, here, you can just take this. But just to kind of do a quick recap, because I know some of you guys are new. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are looking to get to 100,000 subscribers. So I'm really excited about that. We're really we got a little ways to go. I think we're almost at 70. So definitely trying to get to 100,000 so I get a little silver plaque. We have more videos coming out for you guys before the end of the year, so I'm really excited about that as well. So, little recap, if you're brand new to the channel, my name is Vanessa Terry. I am the founder of Notary to Notary. I have been a notary now for almost 11 years. I love what I do. It's the easiest business I've ever done, and I've been in a lot of businesses. I've worked a lot of jobs. And this is something that I really enjoy. It's something that I don't even think about anymore. It just comes second nature. When I first found it, it was 2014, and I was trying to find like a little side hustle to do with my daughter. Well, I just had my daughter, and I wanted to work from home. And so I don't know how you guys have ever sold like Avon and Mary Kay. I even became a door-to-door knife salesman. Yeah. So I've done a lot of things. And when I got into notary, I definitely thought it was going to be something that was going to be just side money for me, like just kind of pick it up and like do it occasionally for gas money. How many of you guys had heard of that as like a side gig type situation? When you first heard of the notary industry, was it something that you thought you could do full time? Was it something that you're going to do on the side? A lot of people who get into the space, they keep their full-time job and then they do it on the side. My intention was always to find something that I could do full time. I didn't think notary was going to be that thing though. And then it just picked up, it blew up. And I share my story a lot on social media about how that happened. And it's one of those things that I just fell in love with. It became super easy for me to do. Like I get clients all the time. I literally so we have coaching. So I have a coaching program. It's every Sunday at 6. And so this Sunday, we're actually doing a new type of coaching. So they're going to see that tonight when they get into the session. But tonight, today, and then I'll talk about it tonight, I'll be doing more like, I like to like niche down and do like marketing to different tiers. And of course, if you're brand new to the channel, what I'm going to say may sound gibberish to you. But like what I want to do for November is really hone in on my attorneys that I work with. Estate planning, that's my focus. I really want to grow that more and just get more clientele there. And so one thing too, guys, you have to remember when you run a business, you're never done with client acquisition. You're always working on getting more clients because guess what? Companies go out of business. Companies stop, calling. You never know. Things just go away. Like you cannot try to just, no one does that. There's a reason, even though Chick-fil-A is like this, was it $1 billion now, right? I don't know. Huge, major corporation. They still run ads. They still have commercials. They still try to get new clients. Why? Because you're always in the business of continuing to grow and fill your business. And so today I'm going to be doing more marketing to attorneys directly. And I teach about that, like how to do that direct work, how to do the emails, the phone calls, the visits. I will say at this point, I don't do a lot of in-person visits. I do them when I'm out, like I was in my passing, or I'll do conferences. But definitely when I first started, it was a lot of in-person, one-on-one, like going door to door to different businesses. And so definitely a great way to get started. But yeah, so I'll be talking about that more in coaching this evening. But anywho, so like I said, I've been doing it for, almost 11 years, full-time for 8 of those years. Well, once it hit, I guess you'll say 9. Yeah, that's so crazy. Because I quit my job after about a year and a half. So yeah, almost 10. I don't know. You guys do the math. Anyway, but I've been full-time since then. On average, I do about $10,000 a month. It just varies on the month. Sometimes less, sometimes more. And that's the beautiful thing about this business is that you can work more. It's so funny. My sister threw herself into the business very aggressively, and she now is doing $4,000 a month on average. So a lot of my Built for You students also are graduating now, and I have to do better about getting their interviews up. I have one coming next week. One of my other students, she's also in Virginia. She's doing about $2,500 a month now. And so on average, when you first get started, I would say when you first get started, depending on how aggressive you are, most everybody can get about $2,000 a month. And that's like bare minimum. Like you should be able to pull in at least $2,000 a month just getting started, and then from there we work on your systems, work on your marketing, work on your, your branding, your getting repeat clients, things like that, your reviews. And so anyway, my sister she went a little over 4,000. And that's been her consistent for the last 2 months. And I'm like, okay, well, this month coming up, I really want us to focus on your general notary work. That was all loan closing. primarily. So I said, I really want to focus on your general notary work. And so this next month, her goal is to do 5,000. Her goal is to eventually get to $10,000 a month as well. And so, but I'm really big on learning what you're doing, right? And so you're not going to get to $10,000 a month or more just like winging it and just trying to throw it all together. No, I wanted her to get really solid on whatever tier she chose. So we worked on loan closing first, and I wanted her to get like, I wanted her to eat, breathe, sleep loan closing. I want her to understand systems with the signing services, with the title companies, with the loan docs, with the reviews, how to get repeat clients, how to fill your schedule, how to charge effectively. And that's something that, you know, I have courses, I have coaching, but it's not like the coaching, yes, because we can like fine tune. Like every situation's different, and so like I was like teaching her little niche things like how do you know when you can up your rates? You know, like for example, let's say a signing service sends an order out 2 or 3 times. You know, you have to know your area, know what the price points go for your area. When can you negotiate? When should you ask for more? You know, all these little nuances that we learn along the way, what to do, what not to do. Like she had an issue with a company she was working with, and it didn't really go well. And initially when she called, she was like, you know, oh, they da 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 da. And I could have hopped on the wagon with her, but I said, well, let's talk about what you did wrong. You know, and I, you know, told her like those kind of things, like, okay, this is what you could have done to prevent all of this, right? And so it's those little things that you just learn from experience, from doing it for years, that I'm able to like, okay, let's not do this. Like those little tidbits of information that, you know, you can't really put in a course. You kind of like, that's where the coaching kind of comes in, because it's like, I don't know every single thing to say because there's so many different situations. You know what I mean? Like I have coaching students and Built for You students that have my number. So they call me and they'll say, Vanessa, this situation is happening. It's not in the course. It's just because like, you never know, like things happen that are like, they just come out of nowhere. And it's just like, oh, okay, let me tell you what to do with this. Okay. Do it like this. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was really excited for her because she hit her 4,000 goal. So this month of November, she's going to hit her 5,000 goal. And like I said, I really just want her to learn the business, like learn it. Like, and the thing is, guys, what I'm really, really passionate about, if you learn this industry and you learn this skill set, you can do this in all 50 states. And if you follow me for a while, you know that I'm commissioned in both Virginia and in Florida. But I was in Virginia probably for like 8 years. I just started going to Florida like 2 years ago. And so, yes, I make great money in Florida when I'm there. I did my, what was it, $1,000 in a month. I just got out there. I didn't know anybody. I just had to wing it. And I consistently still do work in Florida when I go there. But the key is I know how to do the thing. So it doesn't matter if I go to Texas, if I go to Nebraska, if I go to New York, if I go to California, it doesn't matter. The only thing that changes is the laws for each state as far as like how much you can charge, notarial acts. But for the most part, it's about the same, you know? And so if you learn how to market, how to, conduct closings, and it's not just loan closing, it's all types of things that you can do. You have general notary work, you have loan closing, you have e-notary, you have non-notary work, which is fingerprinting, apostilles, weddings, field inspections. I tell everybody too, I didn't say this a lot before, but now if you come to me anytime in the last year, I'm like, let me get you into inspections first. And the reason why I say that is because how many of you guys have had a business before you started talking about being a notary? Did you ever have a business that was successful? Most people are going to say no. And if you have never worked for yourself before and you're taking that leap, I'm not saying that you didn't start a business. I'm not saying you didn't do an LLC. I'm not saying you didn't join a business. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you actually have a successful running business that made money that you had to file taxes on. You see what I'm saying? If you have not, then it is scary. It is, you're apprehensive because most people are just used to working a job, right? And the reason why you're so comfortable with that job is because no matter what happens, well, now this is the case now, right? But now, what happens is you go to work and you're getting a check in 2 weeks. And the reason why I say now is because of the government shutdown. I have a lot of students that either were my students before or are my students now because of the shutdown, and they are federal workers, and they're like, okay, I'm not going to have this happen to me again. And I sent an email out. How many of you guys got that email where I said there's never a point in time where you should be only having income from it? I don't care how good your job is. Don't care, because you never know what's coming to the line. And it's not to say, oh, it could be a government shutdown. Oh, you could get fired. No, anything could happen. Like, let's say, for example, you sell socks and then tomorrow socks become illegal. Now what, right? So you never want to just have your eggs in one bucket. You want to make sure you diversify. And the best way to protect your income for you and your family is to have your own business. That is the best way to do that. Not only does it protect your income, you have way more tax benefits. So you're not paying a lot in taxes. You actually can get money back if you do your taxes right. And you have way more benefits being a business owner. And I was talking to someone recently. We were just really like going over the benefits of owning a business, down to, we had this whole discussion about college, which I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about, the benefit. Like, people go to college wrong. I had to learn. I did partly. Halfway was right, halfway was right. I learned more once I was in there, because I like whenever I get into anything, I like dive into it like 10 toes down. And so a lot of people, I was telling people before, like, you could get paid to go to college, like and it doesn't take that long. And I said, if you use the system the way it's designed to be used, you'll come up. Like, it would be a benefit to you. You see what I'm saying? And so, bringing it back to this point, if you use the business properly, do you know if you have a business, you can actually write off your education? However, if you just go to college, it doesn't work that way. Like, if you run it through the business, there's a way to do that. You run it through the business and pay for college. Now you get that money back. Now it's a write-off. But if you just go as an individual person, there's not a benefit really in you doing that. But we were just talking about all the benefits that exist, period, in America with our tax code that currently exists. Even, I mean, not just today, but like in general. There are so many more benefits to having a business than to not having one. And I tell everybody, like, I'm not saying just go run out and just form an LLC for the sake of it. You do want to know what you're doing. You know, you need to manage it. Like, you have annual reports you have to file. Like, it's like, you got to keep up with it. But you should learn how, because there's a lot of benefits to having a business. Okay. One being, of course, you control your money, right? You can always work more or work less. Okay. But yeah, so I've been doing this now for a little over 10 years. I like it. It's my, like, I don't even think about it anymore. When someone calls me, it's like second nature. It's something that, you know, I can do closings in my sleep. I do general notary in my sleep. I do Ron in my sleep. It doesn't really matter. Everything is just like, I've been doing it for so long that anytime anybody has a question, and I get that I've been doing it so long and I've like mastered it. I'm not even kidding. Like, mastered it, that anytime anybody has a question, oh, this is not working, I instantly always know why. And I say that confidently. There's not a lot of things I can say that confidently about that I have mastered. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me in the kitchen. Like, my daughter cooks better than I do. Okay. That girl is a whole chef. Okay. But it's just like, whoa, that was weird. Anyway, but that kind of distracted me. That threw me out. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. It's been a minute. Anyway, but it's very, very rare that I get a question that I don't know, because I've been doing it for so long, you know. And most times when people, and two, if you talk to other notaries who are successful that have been doing it for a long time, they'll say the same thing. Like, oh, you just gotta know how to do it. Once you know how to do it, you're fine. It's like realtors who make a lot of money. Like, the ones who are really successful, they'll always tell you there's always a way to navigate it, even when it's a tough market. Like, they're not going to say, oh, hang up the towel, because no, they know, because they've been doing it. They know how to work it. You know, a lot of people who get into the business and then get discouraged, they're like, oh, I didn't make any money. Well, you're not doing it right. You know, I can tell you that 100%, especially right now. How many of you guys have seen, like, especially in particular, loan closings? It's through the roof. Okay. So it depends. It depends on like, right now it's really good. You know, we went through a bad period. I think it was like 2 years ago. It was like after COVID, the rates were like super low, and then the rates went super high. And now they're back down to about average of what they were, and projected to go even lower. So we're back right about to where we were before. And so it's still a great market to get into. Like I said, of course you read the market, like it ebbs and flows, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. as far as running your business. If you run it right, you'll be fine. Okay. But anywho, so like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. If you have questions, put it in the chat too. So what I was going to tell you guys was what's going on in Notary to Notary world. So we have, as far as Notary to Notary world, we have our fall challenge. It starts tomorrow. It's so crazy because I did get a couple emails. It starts on Monday. So we go live Monday through Friday, every day inside the group. So we have our fall challenge. That's at notarytonotary.com. If you have never done a challenge with me, it is, I'm trying to find a link for you. So the fall challenge is 30 days. Well, actually, no, November is, we probably won't have a full 30 days. We probably have like 20-ish days of actual training. And what we'll be doing, I'm trying to find you the link for it. Hold on. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I could put all the challenges here. I just thought about that. So we'll be training on how to build your notary business. Every day you'll have a challenge, something that you should do to help increase your clients, your marketing, your systemization. So we'll train, you'll have challenges, and we do it for the month. And so it starts tomorrow officially on Monday. And so I always send out emails for when we're going live. The lives are recorded. They're in a Zoom inside the program. They're recorded. You can watch the replay. It's best to be on it live though, because then you can ask your questions real time. If you watch it later, you can always just watch the replay after. So I know people work during the day. We usually do it during the day. But that's a great way to do it. We also have the Ultimate Notary Bundle, which is what I tell everybody to get. Anybody who comes to me and they say, Vanessa, can you teach me how to do notary? That's what I tell you to get. Get the Ultimate Notary Training, teach you everything you need to know to build your notary business. Both of those, you can use promo code FLASH today to get 80% off. And then the last two things actually it's like 3 things going on, but we have our Built For You program. So the mini build is what is still open. The Built For You is full. The mini build is still open. So the mini build program, if you go to notarytonotary.com, that's where you work with me. Takes about a week to finish, and we will get your business up and running. As far as if you just hit Notary and Notary, it should take you there. Oh, it did? Okay. If you go to Notary Go Training, it should take you to the fall program. So if you do share screen, eventually I will share. This is the mini build. So in just about 3 days, it's about a week's time, as long as you have everything that you need. You get all the courses at Notary to Notary. You get a custom notary website. You get marketing materials. We do flyers, business cards, and what am I trying to say? Email signature design sent to you digitally. And then we register you with 100 signing services and 45 inspection companies. And you also get 2 coaching sessions with me. Okay, so this is actually only open today. So if you are on the email list, we close registration Friday. The last day to get into the mini build is today for the rest of the year. So we'll reopen programs again January 1st. Our goal is just to get everybody graduated out that had joined throughout the year, whether they were busy with work or what have you. So we just want to get everybody graduated out. So we're closing it today as the last day. And then if you don't join today, of course, you could join next year. So next year you can get into it. So those are the things that's going on. I met with a lady who owns a commercial building for my office. I need to create a pitch deck and business plan. Okay. I like it. All right, hold on. Let me pull this down. If you just click training, though, it'll take you to the courses. So if you click training, it'll take you to the ultimate. This is the one I was saying to get. The elite is for advanced. However, you can get it with a promo code, but I wouldn't start working on it. Because you have the promo code out right now. So if you get it, you could get it and just keep it. You don't need to be in here if you're just getting started. You need to be in here. The Ultimate Notary Bundle. It's only $529, so you're getting it at 80% off, which is a steal. And then this is the challenge right here. So it opens up on tomorrow. Okay. And then, of course, we have coaching, and the coaching is on the website. You go here, go coaching, and then you would go here. And the good thing about it right now, too, if you do get in today, you still get that 90%, not 90, 80% off your monthly coaching with me. And it's group coaching. So you're on a group session with us, and we do coaching every Sunday at 6. Okay. So that's what's going on in Notary to Notary world. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything that's new and I'm coming. We don't have any live events that's coming up right now. Everything right now is we're just wrapping up for the end of the year, finishing all the products we had open for the year. We have quite a few things we still need to work on for the rest of the year, which is why we probably won't have any more live events. If we do, probably like 1 or 2, because we do have, I have to do the November challenge, which takes a lot of time and effort to do because I have to go live every day. And then we have the, in December, we don't have anything live. So the last live will be, what's the last live? The last live will be for the November challenge. Okay. All right. If you have questions, feel free to put it in the chat. Can you provide any additional information I may need to be successful with my notary co-working space? That's a loaded question. Like, it's not like a yes, no, like that's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. So there's something, I mean, that's a whole thing all by itself to actually open a brick and mortar space, to figure out like services, like to do that whole thing. That's a, we could talk about it on coaching. Like you could do that, but I would still say like, even with that, that's something that it's not like a one and done. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to talk to you for 5 minutes and I'll have everything I need to know. No, that's a whole situation. It's like if somebody says, can you show me how to build a notary business? Yes. I can't do it in 5 minutes. I can't do it in 5 minutes. It's like, I couldn't even do it in an hour. To teach you everything, I couldn't even do it in an hour. No. But yeah, so if you're in the coaching, definitely bring your questions in there and like we can just start, kind of knocking away at it and kind of see. The first thing I would definitely have you do before we even talk about that is what your goal is. And then I have like a lot of questions that I usually ask new business owners that not just for notary, but any industry. Just like a lot of that pre-work that gets done before you even decide to go forward, like what metrics you're going to track, like what is your goals, like, what's the end game here? A lot of that stuff gets done first before we even get into like, okay, so what should be in the building? Like this, like, it's steps to make sure you don't miss anything, but yeah. So that's what's going on with Notary to Notary. Like I said, a lot of people have been saying, I haven't been seeing you on live a lot. I have not. I have been homeschooling very aggressively with my kids. If you guys don't know, I do homeschool my 3 children, and it is definitely a voyage. It is a voyage. Okay. I also, for the this month, October, I didn't do the challenge completely with my sister, but the month before, we did a take everything challenge. So it was like me doing closings with her and notary work with her. Just like to fill our schedules to see what it would look like. And so last month I still did some of it with her, but not a whole lot. So we basically were like getting orders and I was helping her and like I was doing the same thing. Like this is how you do it, it's how you manage it. And so for November, I am going to be again doing a lot of notary work. Primarily to go along with the challenge. So my goal for November is to, like I said, increase my general notary work in particular with attorneys and estate docs. So that's my thing. I also am very interested more to start partnering more with the digital estate planning providers, which is the new more common thing. It's not super, super common. Like people still go to attorneys, but even attorneys are starting to see the wave that is going towards digital, legal representation. And so it's just, I'm interested to see it. So I definitely want to kind of like get my foot in those doors and just kind of start those conversations. People always ask me too, like, well, let's do it like this. So how many of you guys have your notary business already set up? Like you are completely set up and you're working. People will say like, what is it? Like, what do you do? If you're not actively completing notary work, you should be either researching your law if you have not already mastered your law. And then from there, you're marketing. And so what does marketing look like? Like, I'll give you an example. People think it's just signing with companies. It's not. So I had 2 new title companies that I did closings for this week that are in my CRM, but I want to spend some time learning their brand. So I pin them to my email. So my plan for this week, and it's not the only ones, it's a couple people in there, but anybody that I need to follow up with, they go into a folder in my email. So if there's a new client, if typically new clients in particular, I put them in a folder. And sometimes if it's an old client, like, so for example, I work with this title company and I've always worked with the same escrow officer. And so recently I got a new escrow officer that's in the same company, but now I have to build a relationship with them. Although they're already working with me, now I want to spend time fostering that relationship. And so people think a lot of times it's just going out and doing notary work. No, it's building the relationships. And then I can tell you on top of that, I have a couple realtors that I have worked with recently that I need to follow up with them. And it's not just following up and just saying, hi, you know, call me if you need a notary. No. So the follow-up game, I talk about this a lot in like coaching or challenges. Your follow-up game is not just sending a spam email. It's not even putting them in a sequence. It's a matter of like taking time to learn them, learn their brand, you know, follow them on social media. Like I spend, lately I have not done as well, but most times I'll spend anywhere between 1 to 2 hours in a week. Like I'll just sit down in blocks. It's not like a set time, but I will just sit down and I will just go do what I call comments of value. I actually got from Gary Vee. So if you follow Gary Vee, the marketer, he talks about adding comments of value to your clients' pages. And so what does that look like? That means, okay, well, I'm going to go to all my clients that I just started working with, and I'm going to read their posts. I'm going to engage with them. I'm going to add comments of value. I'm not going to spam them with my notary stuff. I'm going to just talk to them and create conversations and things like that. And that could take you a while, you know, and then even from there, I'll find new clients. And how do you do that? Okay, so let's say I did all the clients that I already had, which is, if you've been doing this a lot, you're not going to hit all your clients. It's not happening. But you can also, like, there's in my list right now. So in my CRM, I have a list of, I can't even tell you how many clients there is, businesses. For the record, it is, not to say it's impossible, it is illogical. It doesn't even, I wouldn't even try to do genuine follow-ups with all those. Now I can blast them with emails. That's what I'm talking about. So I usually will pick like 5 to 10 at the most each week that I'm going to genuinely try to follow up with. Sometimes I'm just really busy. I'll like 2. And I'll say, okay, this week I'm going to hit these 2 companies. And it will be just, whether that's depending on the relationship with that person, it's either going to be a phone call, an email, maybe I'll send an actual card out. Like there's one company particularly I wanted to gift basket to, but that's because we have previous history. Like it was just a really good relationship. And I just say, I want to send them an edible arrangement. Now I don't do that to everybody. Absolutely not. But this client in particular, I wanted to do that because it had been a minute since we had really had, you know, conversation. And last time we spoke, I had to kind of rush off the phone and we had a really good relationship, but I have been so busy doing other stuff that I just didn't have the time to really foster it. So I just don't want them to think that, oh, she just forgot about it. I didn't. And so I said to say, you can foster relationships without spending money. Fostering relationships is just having conversation. Like a lot of, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of clients that I have that have virtual events now, virtual trainings, or in-person conferences, in-person events. And so I'll pick some that I can attend and I'll attend them, whether that's virtually, whether that's in person. And so that's the backside of it people don't talk about. You know, the backside of it is, what does that marketing look like? You're never done. You're never done. And if you feel like, if you could come out your mouth and say, well, I've done all the marketing, you're missing it. You don't understand. You're missing it. You missed it. You missed it. It's impossible because the marketing never ends. You never stop. It doesn't stop. It literally doesn't stop, you know? And so it's one of those things where even last week, I was really good. I was loaded. I was full. This week, I already have my schedule pretty full. But I said, you know what? I want to try to at least call 1 to 2 at minimum clients that I previously had. Make sure, if it's a signing service, so I'm updated with them. Just kind of check in, see if they're doing anything new. I just take that time to do that. Make sure I'm updated, things like that. Even my directories, I'll go through sometimes. I don't always check my directories every week, but I try to make sure I check my online footprint. One thing that I know I need to do, I do it every year, and it's coming about that time, is to do another round of my Bright Local, my aggregator, where I run it again to do my SEO. Another thing I need to do too on my website is do another website cleanse on it, another like round of blogs. And so like those things, there's always things to do. Like you're never done doing the thing. You see what I'm saying? Another thing I wanted to do too is just continue to work on my automation with my website to get it where people, and I'm always changing the lingo. Like I just changed my website design to, I want to change it more, but I'm working on changing the lingo where, you know, it gets easier for my clients. And what does that look like? And this is why I said we can go down the rabbit hole. Okay. Someone may, if I see a lot of people like that are just like asking the same question, all my clients asking, I will say, okay, well, people asking this a lot. Let me put this on the website. Let me put it big so they know. You know what I mean? So I look at that. I look at my responses. I have a little survey on my site too, so they tell me where they found me at. Like I just click a little button. Okay, cool. I look at those numbers. I look at my analytics. I like to see like what's working and what's not working. So that's why I say, like, if you're not actively out doing the thing, you should be working on the thing. Okay. Do I offer one-on-ones? Yes, you can send me an email and I'll send you the link for it. It is custom. You get one session. So just send me an email. I'll send you the link for it. It's $100 for the session. It's $100 for the hour. So you get an hour session with me. Otherwise, you could do group coaching, and that's Sundays at 6. So we have coaching today at 6 o'clock. Do you know it's daylight savings time today? We gained an hour. Yeah, and I got to go change all the clocks in my house. Yeah, that has to get done. Do you have SEO training? Not a full course yet. It's on our list to put out next year. I feel like most of my SEO training has been in another program. So we did some SEO in the challenge. I've done SEO classes, like live classes. I've done them in different little programs that we've had. But I don't have one course that you can just take for SEO yet. It's definitely something I want to do. It just goes again to having the time. We have a couple open projects we have to finish already, so we're just not doing that yet. All right, hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Don't be worried about me. I'm here. I like it. I like it. Do you know any more companies like Groundworks? These others want you to go to people's house. So you have a list of 45. Start there. Use all the 45. And then too, you got to know, like my last couple inspections were realtors that called me. So it's just about marketing and getting yourself out there. Like realtors will call you to do inspections for people who are buying the house that aren't here, and they need the video and the pictures and stuff. So it's just marketing. It's just marketing. You know, it's really just getting your brands out there. Probably even look up some keywords that you could find realtors that do that. I haven't done that. I'm thinking about lavender color. Like if you could think of what terminology is ranking, you don't have to think about it. Just go to Google. It'll tell you. If you use a tool like SEMrush, that'll tell you too. But Google has Google Analytics. It'll tell you what terminology is ranking for like any kind of terminology for those realtors who do like cross-country moves, military moves, things like that, where the buyers are not typically at that location and they're going to need those virtual. A lot of times what happens is the day, like a couple of days before they close, or even, you know, within reason, like a lot of times on Zillow and stuff, the pictures are old. And so they will say, well, I want to know what it looks like right now, like today. Can you tell somebody to go out and do picture and video today? And those are inspections too. And they typically pay a lot more, just so you know. All right. Let me see. October was a great month. Alyssa's also in the Built For You. We're almost have you graduated, girl. I like it. I like it. October was a great month. Got a call from an attorney's office yesterday to handle a distance estate planning appointment for them. Make sure you put them in your CRM. Make sure you follow them on social media. Do the follow process. Do the engagement. If it's and one thing I do too, like sometimes you will get an attorney that just does one-off estate planning. But if they do estate planning on a regular, they regularly need notaries. If they're local to you, you can also, you know, recommend that you can come in office and do them. You know, really start to pitch that thing. You know, you can even do online notarizations for your distant signers, things like that. But build a relationship. Don't just sell them hard as soon as you get back. But definitely keep their information and go to their website, follow them on social media, things like that. So you can start building a relationship. So they need you once, I'm pretty sure they'll need you again, especially if you do a great job. And then one thing too, you could do, impress the signers, you know, so much that they leave a rating review about you. Okay. Would you market to insurance companies? So I don't. I'm not saying you couldn't. I mean, I would say talk to. I mean, I'm not saying there's no market for it. I have never, because most insurance companies, well, not all, but most of them have like a third party they go through already that sends work out. A lot of the inspection companies partner with insurance companies, but you could, I mean, there's also people who start their own inspection company and then market them to get their own clients. So it just really depends. I've never done it. And that's the thing I will always say. I will never tell you something to do I haven't done. Okay, so I don't typically talk to it. I don't talk to insurance companies. That's not what I do. I'm not saying there's no market for it. I'm saying I don't do it. But like, for example, one of my students, she is focusing on estate docs, right? And she's doing all the things but she brought me an idea of putting some of her high net worth clients on a retainer. I had never thought about that. That I would do. And although I had never thought about it, it seems like a viable option. I would definitely consider that because it would save the company's money, especially if they're high net worth, yada. So it's not to say I would tell you if I thought it was if it was a good idea. That was a good idea. Insurance companies, it's not something that I do. So like I said, again, I'm not going to say something that I don't do. So somebody said insurance agents needs fingerprints. Again, I teach fingerprinting. I do mobile ink fingerprinting, but you guys have always said it's not my thing. I don't really like it. Like I do it. I can teach you how to do it. I can get clients, but I don't. So remember I said with notary, you have multiple tiers. General notary work, loan closing, all the things. You don't have to do all of them. You pick and choose what you like. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of fingerprinting. So I don't really market for it. And I still get calls every once in a while, but it's not something that I market for. So if you do fingerprints a lot, then you would probably be able to tell you who I'm getting a niche into insurance and, yada, yada, yada. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's not something that I do currently. It's not something that I do it. It's not, what am I trying to say? It's not my favorite. It's like, okay, not seller side. Purchase full closing online. I don't like those. And I talked about that before. So I pick and choose what I like to do. It just varies. So I'm not saying you can't do it. I would just do your research a little bit before you put, like, especially any paid marketing. I would research before so you're not wasting time. Okay. Do you send out personalized thank you cards? I need to. I don't. I have. Okay, let me clear that up. I have. So I used to do handwritten notes a lot. I feel like I don't think I've sent out any this year. I don't think I have, but I normally do. And it's something. It's just kind of tedious. You gotta remember to do it. You gotta force yourself. All right, sit down. Do your handwritten notes. They are really effective. But I just don't like to do them cheesily. I like to pick people I really wanted to send cards to. Of course, you have like providers that'll send mass cards out to all your clients, so you don't have to worry about it, all the things. But so the question is, should you? Yes. Would I send it out to every single client I had? No. So the thing about it too, and you'll get it the more you're doing it, you can read people, you can read clients, you can see volume. And I put my eggs in my baskets where I had a really good rapport. So let's say I had 5 closings in a week and 2 went fine, nothing was wrong, but there's nothing special about it. And then I had 3 where it was great. They had great reviews and they're like, oh my God, I want to use your, okay, great. I'm going to put my eggs in that basket. So those are the ones I typically will do the follow-ups with, do the handwritten cards, things like that. Doesn't mean you can't do them for all of them. I was just saying what I personally do. So I always will say, when I give advice, I always say what you can do, what you should do, what I do. And I'll say, you don't have to do what I do. But I also tell you, like, oh, don't do that at all. Like, don't do that. That's a waste of time. Like, I will tell you those things too. But like, that's something where I'm not saying you can't send out personalized cards. It's one of those things where I had to pick where I was gonna send my cards. I'm not the best with keeping up with handwriting the notes. So it's just like, you know, it's a work in progress. Okay. All right. So iNotarize is another program that we're still working on. We're trying to get that out by the end of the year. So if you haven't heard about that, that is my eNotary platform. And so that's why I said we're not doing anything new. We have literally 3 programs that need to get up before the end of the year. And so that's why I'm like, nope, we're not doing anything new. We got to get these out. And so hopefully my goal is to get them all out before the end of the year. That is definitely the goal, to get them all out before the end of the year. I did 5 online notarizations this week. Yeah. Did you do it with proof, like in their queue, or you got your own clients? Okay. So Dorothy, Pactima is what I would recommend. So Pactima, P-A-C, what is that? P-A-C-T-I-M-A, P-A-C-T-I-M-A. Now, the key with them is, I think it's like $20 a month. And so with them, I would not pay for them unless you have consistent clients, because they do allow you to do biometric. They're not the only one, but I got my own client and did, okay, cool. So yeah, so if you're getting your own clients now, you can do it, but I want you to really look at your budgeting. I want you to make sure that, so even if you think, okay, let's say you're paying $20 a month it's $20 a month. I think it's like $10 flat for each notarization. So let's just say $30. Let's just say for November, you pay $30. As long as you make over $30, so that's usually like one notary. As long as you do at least 1 to 2 RONs a month, you're in the green. Okay, you're in the green. Now, Notarize is good because you can sign up with them and don't pay anything monthly, even if you don't have work. You pay when you use it. Pactima has a monthly thing. So that's why I say, like, I'm not saying I just don't, you know me, I don't want you to sign for something and then you're just like spending money. You know what I mean? So and then just track it. Again, track it. Okay, I'm paying $30, $20 a month, and then it's like $10 for each one you do. So let's say your first one, let's say it was a full, $100. That month was good. Now your next month, so you get nothing. You gotta start, just track it. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you're consistently having at least 1 to 2 a month. I would say at least 2 a month, and then you'll be fine. But again, with Ron, just make sure that you're marketing for it. So you're doing the blog post, you're doing the keywords, you're doing the email marketing. Make sure that you have, SnapDocs did that update. You have to actually put in your Ron credentials in there to make it so you get Ron work signing order the same way now. So you can still get closings and stuff from the platforms as well, and then make sure that you're marketing. And then anyone you work with, especially title companies, attorneys, let them know what you do wrong. General Notary Work is also really good wrong. Again, you guys know I'm always, especially on my website, like that's why we wanted to rebrand it so people know. Like people still are so shocked when I say you could do it online, and I have to tell them like how you can do it online, things like that. And so that's what I do when people call. I do that. Okay, do you want to have it notarized online or in person? And they'll say, oh, you can do it online? Yeah, just email me the document. It takes 2 seconds. Whatever I say, a quick little blurb. So I could convert a lot of my RONs, a lot of my in-person work to RONs, because people just need to know that it can be done that way. So yeah, I would do that. I would stay on proof, and then you could definitely do Pactima, but just make sure you're checking to see how much work you're getting in, so you can make sure you're still turning a profit when you do it. Fun fact, a lot of law firms, period, don't have e-notaries. And you got to think about this. Let me give you this tea. You have some tea? You want some tea? You need some tea? Virginia, Florida, Texas, I think Nevada. They're primarily the big guys for online notary. Okay. So everybody usually comes to us. They usually come to a Virginia notary, e-notary, a Florida e-notary, a Texas e-notary, or a Nevada e-notary. Why? Because we have the best laws. when it comes to usability. And so what you're allowed to do and we were also, so for example, Virginia was the first state to even have Ron. Okay. And so a lot of times people only market to the individuals in their state. Honey, if you thought law firms were cool, imagine, let me tell you, this is still not old. Market to California, because California can't do Ron. No one in California, no notary in California can do Ron. None. Okay. You know how big that market is? Because none of them can do it. And I know it's unfortunate if you're in California, you're like, why are you taking our job? Well, y'all can't do it yet. I think when they get it in like a couple more years. So a lot of notaries target California. California is huge. It's a huge market. Plenty of businesses, plenty of people. And this is when we get into like that targeting with your SEO, with your online, brand, to get people from California to call you for online notary, because none of their notaries in that state can service them online. You see what I'm saying? So, and not just them, marketing to other states that have law firms first of all, Georgia. Again, their notaries can't do wrong. But they have a little like disclosure, like with like attorneys or something. They have a little disclosure that can get away with it if you're under an attorney's office or something like that. I forget how they had that little. I put that in there because someone's probably going to say, well, what about this? Yes, that thing does exist. But at large, like notaries in Georgia can't do Ron. So again, market to the attorneys there, market to the people there, market to because Ron is a convenience. It's a convenience. People want to be able to notarize their things online. So girl, market to the states that their notaries can't do it. You're welcome. Okay. You said, what are my Rons at 1:30? Exactly. I'm saying, like, honey, it's always work out there. It's just a matter of marketing to get the work you're looking for. You know what I mean? It's a matter of getting out there, learning the business and getting out there. So let's do a couple more questions and then we're going to wrap up for the day. Do you want to do a notary today, Dorothy? If you do, text me and I'll send you one. Because I was thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to let you take this one. It's general notary work. You can do it. Easy peasy, chicken squeezy. But if you do want this, just shoot me a text after and I'll forward it to you and you can take it. Yay! Good. Because I was like, I always have to find people, like, especially on the weekends. I don't know what y'all be doing on the weekends. What y'all be doing? Because I always work. I was talking to my sister and she was out with me and she left her stamp at home. I said, how do you not carry your stamp? I have a stamp in my car, in my purse, in my work bag, in my house. I think I have like 5 notary stamps. Why? This is what I do. Right? Do you run Google Ads? I have, more so for notary to notary, not for my notary business. So I've never run ads for my notary business. The only time I ran ads was for notary to notary and then for the office space, but not like, so you don't have to run ads. You can. I mean, they work. They're very effective. It's one of those things where if it's not broke, why fix it? You know, like I don't have a problem with volume, so I don't run ads, you know, and I honestly believe, okay, so let's say I'm gonna break it down this way. If you're not good at marketing online, you're not good with, having a hard time, running ads can be a little cheat code for you if you learn how to do it properly, because you can also lose a lot of money running ads if you don't know how to run them. I did that before too, okay? That's the link for coaching, and the code is Flash. It's going across the screen. We can go over ads and coaching too. I will say, probably won't be able to go over ads tonight just because we have a lot to cover. We probably won't get into ads tonight, not in a full in-depth situation. But I always say, like, you can build your business without running ads. You literally can. Now, if you have some extra funds and you want to do it, you want to boost it, cool. You could definitely do that. I don't want you to feel like you have to run ads to do this business. So for the 9 years that I did it full time, I didn't run an ad at all, period. I did some Facebook boosting at one point. That's before I knew what I was doing. Don't do that either. You gotta learn how to boost and run ads. That way you're not throwing your money away, because they will take it and not care. Okay. So yeah, you don't have to run ads in order to be effective. No. Everything, and you will not see me teach you anything about running ads at all in my courses. Not once, not one mention of it. That's not how I market it. And that's when I went to Florida and I got my business out there, I didn't do it out there either. Okay. You don't have to run ads to make money in this business. You do not. No. You really don't have to pay for anything besides your website. And like, for people always say, for the record, I didn't have I had a subdomain website probably until like 2021, which meant my website said Vanessa Terry, what was it? Vanessa Terry Notary, whatever, .weebly.com. It wasn't even a full domain. And then I'm gonna have you something else too. I didn't have a professional email address either. I did not, you know? And so think about that. I'm not saying you should have one for different reasons. Like I have one now. I didn't have one then. I didn't know any better. And I still made 10 grand a month, not knowing any better. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Not knowing any better, I still made 10 grand. But I said to say, to be successful in this business, just being completely honest with you, you have to commit to it. You have to read your handbook. You have to learn it and you have to do it. And you have to get out of your head that it doesn't work, because it does. You have to get out of your head, oh, you want it to look a certain way. You have to get out of your head, oh, well, I worked X amount of hours. Where's my money? It doesn't work like that. If you're looking for trading hours for money, get a job, because I can work a week straight on trying to get new clients and I may not get any, but I can also put 1 hour in and get 10. So like with entrepreneurship is not you can't trade the work put in for equal dollars. It doesn't exist. It literally does not exist. You never know what client is going to be I will tell you too, I got this client, I just took it on a whim. Just, I was bored. They wanted me to do a quick run. I hopped in there really quick and knocked it out. And that client now calls me every single day to do Ron, Monday through Friday. If it's not 5 days a week, it's at least 4. Okay. I had no idea. I could have blew that client. I was, I'm too busy. But I just happened to take it. And she just happens to have a ton of Ron. Literally like 3 to 5 times a week, almost every single day. It's so funny because she's like, can I call you on weekends? I'm like, yeah. She said, really, I feel bad. So you call me when you want, honey. As long as you pay me, I don't care. So, but I said to say, people will say too, like, oh, well, I didn't get any work from this company. There's this one company in particular that they're on my list of 100 companies, and they're on my list. I think I've only had 2 jobs from them ever. One being a while ago. And I just got another one from them Thursday or Friday, right? They paid me $150 to do a purchase closing. Okay. They're still on the list. I still keep my profile up. And the thing people don't understand is people might say, well, that company didn't call me. And like, they didn't call me in like 4 or 5 years. It's been 4 or 5 years, at least, probably at least 4 since I work with them. And they called me now. So it's like, you never know who's going to call. And it's just filler. Like it's just, so I have a schedule. And it's like, okay, I have my regular. Oh, when they didn't call me in, plug them in there. It all adds up at the end of the day to your bottom line. That's why it's like you cast a wide net, because you never know who's going to call, but you cast a wide net. Like you might email 10 social workers to get work and none may call you back today, but next month, 3 might call you back. Right? You know, you never know. That's why I say, like, I cast a wide net. I'm very aggressive with my marketing. And my biggest thing is people always ask, like, well, how much do you do? When you first get started, you should be very aggressive. Very aggressive. Not bothersome. Don't blow people's phones up, but very aggressive in the volume that you put out. Once your schedule is, your volume of what you have is good, you can maintain what you're doing. There are even times where I kind of slow back a little bit because I'm good. Like right now, my loan closing volume is more than I could do. Like I can't, it's not even, I don't even come close to doing the loan closing offers that I get on a day-to-day. I can't. It's too many. And then it's just my schedule now. So if you're a full-time notary and you can do from like, not like, girl, let me tell you something. Dorothy, listen. This order, how many of y'all saw that order come out? If you're in my area for Fredericksburg, I don't know if you saw it. It was a Fredericksburg closing, 8 o'clock in the morning for this weekend. Do you know I saw that? I was going to counter a nice amount. And I know they would have paid it because I know the company, they would have paid it. And I was going to counter and take it, but I had another one at 9 and I had to be there at 8. And that's like an hour away from me. So I wouldn't got back in time. But when I tell you, like, the work is out here. Y'all just got to be out here picking it up. I pick that up, and I pick that up, and I pick that up. So for lawyers that call you every day to do wrong, what's your payment structure? Do they pay the same day? So you set that up with them. That is what you set up. For me, I get paid out every 2 weeks from them. So, but you set that up. Most times I will tell you well, it depends. Sometimes they'll pay you right after. They'll just cut you a check, send them an invoice. Sometimes they want to be on a I have one company in particular, they always just say, put all your closings or your signings on one invoice at the end of the month and just send me one invoice. And so that works too. It really just depends. Employee, Q, let me tell you something. I was just talking about you. I was just literally, your name came out of my mouth. Q, that's what I call it. I said Q. My sister, another sister of mine, did a job in Emporia, right? And I said, oh, okay, that's good. How much you get? She told me $80. Honey, do you know I chewed her all the way up? I said, ma'am. And I'm not going to do this right now on his live, but I explained to her how to price effectively for areas like that, because that was too low. But I will tell you, Q, it ain't dry. It's jumping. And you gotta, I don't know. Like, so this is the thing too. This is what I'm gonna tell you. I know because I get the text. I don't go to Emporia anymore. I used to go and I used to counter what I wanted, which, when we had the conversation offline, I used to go. I just don't anymore because it's like an hour. It's at least an hour from me. So I don't go out there anymore, but I used to. But you have to market. You got to email. Are you asking for reviews? That's another thing too. Like one of my others, she wasn't doing that. If you do a really good job, ask them to leave you a review if you're using a platform, or to put you prefer. But if you're using like SnapDocs or Signing Order, if you don't ask them, they're not going to typically do it because they don't think about it. People don't think about leaving reviews unless it's bad. And so I have a little blurb that I send out to every company. I try my best. If I feel like I did a great job, I send it to them. If I feel like, I was regular, I didn't go above and beyond. I didn't if I had a really great experience, I'll send it to, hey, can you leave a review? You know what I'm saying? So if you've been going to Emporia, the companies, go back through your Notary Assist, go back and look at the companies that sent you to Emporia. They probably still have work there. Ask them to leave your reviews. Talk to them, build the relationship. Like there's definitely, you gotta think about it. Is there people in Emporia? Then there's work in Emporia. And I'm telling you right now, I get the text. I don't go. So somebody's going. Somebody's going. It ain't me. I will go. I don't go to, what's the other one? It's like Cortland. I don't go to Cortland. I don't go to Franklin. I don't go to, what's that other one? It's a city and they always send it out. It's one of those cities. It's like Emporia, but it's not Emporia. Man, I know it when I see it. I don't go there either. But like I said, it's just marketing. It's just marketing, building relationships, calling, emailing. And just because I think South Hill, I do go to because it's not that far. Blackstone, I go to. I do raise my rates on that one, but I do go to Blackstone. But it just depends. It just really depends. I don't do a whole lot in Glen Allen, like Short Pump area, because I don't feel like driving out there. It's too far. It's too far. And then even now, sometimes I won't even take some Midlothian because Chester. So this is a side note. If you live in Virginia, Chesterfield is huge. You can be in Chesterfield for 2 hours. Okay. And some parts of Chesterfield, I look at the zip code. I'm not going. I'm just not. Why is it so big? We got to break this up and call something different. But yeah, no. But yeah, let's work out there. You just got to market. You got to market. What I was going to say. Yeah. I feel like I was trying to say something different and I kind of left what I was saying. But I haven't been to Stafford, I don't think. What will it look like if I want to expand my area? I mean, what areas do you service now? Like, aren't you I thought you were in Petersburg. Hopewell area. Are you not? Because if you're like closer to Emporia, I mean, expand your area in what way? I need more context. I feel like, oh, you live in Emporia. Well, why are you not getting Emporia jobs? That's interesting. This is where I would say if you live in Emporia, your footprint needs to be bigger because you live there. I live in a little city in Chesterfield, and I get a lot of calls just for people who are like, "Are you in this little city?" Yeah, I need that. Like, you need to make your footprint bigger. Online. One, with all the companies, call, email, get the reviews, do all the things, but also up your marketing on your website and your Google profile page. Like, just, and then of course you have more online marketing you can do, but just those. Like, does Emporia have like little cities inside of it, like little towns in it or surrounding it? Like, you know how like when you have like I'm trying to think. Richmond has a lot of them. So you can kind of, Chesterfield has a lot of them. Niching down to those even smaller cities, towns, regions with your marketing, that will help you stand out. Because most everybody's going to say Emporia. But is it like another like little city? Like for example, I'm going to help you. I asked because I don't know. Okay. Like, okay, so Greensville County, is that in Emporia, around Emporia? And then it says North Emporia, Fields Crossroads, Washington Park. Does that sound familiar? Skippers, yeah. So, but these are the ones that kind of popped up for me. Nearby towns and cities says Fields Crossroads, Mason, Virginia, Harold's Mill, White City, Walnut Heights, Lincoln Heights, Kingsbury, Halifax Manor Mobile Home Park. I guess has its own little town. Do all of those sound familiar to you? I asked, I don't know. If they do sound familiar, you know where those are. Use those cities and towns marketing in your like Google profile page and your listings, because a lot of people, but that's the thing, Q, people miss that. People think, well, I said Emporia. No, like niche down. Everybody's saying Emporia. Start saying all the little cities and towns. Like, for example, like, okay, so if you say, you know what I mean? Like, okay, because they're gonna like, there's people actually search those things. So they will actually search, and there are people who will not put in Emporia Notary. They'll put in Mason Notary, White City Notary, Mobile Notary near Walnut Heights. And if all of your SEO and all of your verbiage is Emporia, Google's not Google. So let's say, for example, if all the notaries in Emporia all said Emporia Notary, like those all their keywords were, you'll be fine. Whatever. I'm sure they're probably not. Most if they know SEO. So for example, a lot of my, although I'm in Chesterfield, there's tons of little towns and cities in this area. So I could say Chesterfield Notary. I don't do that. I mean, I do, but then I also put the little towns and little cities that exist like Chester and Enon and all these little, because they help with the SEO and the ranking. Because if someone types in Chester instead of Chesterfield, because it's a city inside Chesterfield, and they put in Chester Notary, and all the other notaries are putting Chesterfield Notary, they have no articles, they have no keywords that say Chester, and I'm the only one that has this city as Chester Mobile Notary. I pop to the top of the Google search when someone types in Chester Notary. You see what I'm saying? I'm the only notary in Emporia with a Google My Business page. Well, let's see how true that statement is. You might be. Let's see. QJL, no, that's you. I know that. You need some more reviews. What is happening? You've been doing this long enough to have more reviews. Okay, so you may be the only one with a Google business page. However, there are a few that it looks like that have a Yelp. Let me see. And then you got to figure out, too, ask yourself this question. If you are the only notary that has an online presence, which it would be, I don't think you're the only with the online presence, but if that is the case, why are they not going to you? Because they're there. Maybe you're not popping up high enough. It could be anything. So like there's Gracie Maid's Notary. She's an Emporia. QJL, that's you. You're an Emporia. And then the rest of it looks like Franklin. I think it's a little bit further away. So you do, this is the thing, Q. You do have a nice footprint that you could be leaving. You need to be the main notary. And I think when I'm looking at what I'm seeing, one, I need to see more posts on your Google profile page. I see you did some recently. Post a little bit more consistently. You need more reviews. Your photos are not coming up. I don't know if you have photos on there, but your photos are not coming up. Your site also looks like it doesn't have SSL on it. You need SSL. It's not secure. Are you who are your site through? So Google's really cracking down on sites that don't have SSL, and yours, it looks like it does not. That HTTPS, it looks like it's not. So it gives you that little message, hey, they don't have security. You might want to get away. I'm gonna go anyway. And your site's down. Is your site down? Your site's down. QJLNotaryServices.com. Yeah, your website is coming up as down. Hold on. Hold on one second. Oh, you are redoing it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, your site. Well, I don't care if you're redoing it or not. Put it back up. You don't have time to take your site down. I never take my site down. When you edit it, you can do your edits in your dashboard. Just don't publish it till it's ready. But don't take your site down. Take your site down, you are gone. People can't call you. You're losing money. Put your site back up. And if you make changes to it, that's fine. You can work on those changes on the back side of your site. This is not published till it's ready, but you get that site back up. It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. People could be, and it comes out, you got to add some pictures. I see some horses. I see some horses. Oh, you got to change the order. That's what's happening. The order of your pictures are not coming up right. Yeah, because your notary, your logo should come up first, and it's not. Sometimes if you go and you can't fix it, you got to send a message to Google directly in support and tell them exactly what you want them to do, and they'll fix it. When you try to fix it on your side, it doesn't go through, just go to the support section, tell them what the error is, tell them exactly how you want it done, and they'll fix it. Okay. Okay. Can you do one posting website that notes all of your local cities and areas, or do you need to sprinkle them? You need to sprinkle it throughout your various posts. Because you think about it. If you say the word Chester once, and I say it 1,000 times, see what I'm saying? And it's not to take it down. Just reorder it. Just change the order. Make sure all your stuff come up first. Let them have to dig through it to see that picture. But yeah, work on it. That's what you be working on. See, you got work to do. Look at that. You got work to do. All right, guys. That is also the clock on the wall. Dorothy, I'm gonna send you this job in a second. I'm gonna send you the information. It's good pay. I'm gonna send you this order. I know. But anywho, that is also clock on the wall, guys. You are amazing on purpose. You can all be six-figure notaries. If you want to get into the training, learn more how to get started building your notary business before the end of the year, get into the Ultimate Notary Bundle. Use promo code FLASH. If you want to do the Built For You, you actually get the courses too. And we build you a website. We sign up for signing services and inspections. And you get a digital marketing kit from us, as well as 2 coaching sessions, one-on-one. And that is on the Built For You page at notarytonotary.com. Any last minute questions before I skedaddle? That is, the mini build does close today. The coaching stays open. You can always get in and out of coaching if you want to, but the mini build does close out today. That's the last day to get into it for the rest of the year. And I think I hit everything. All right, guys, that is all. So the clock on the wall. I don't think I see any new questions. They were really good. All right, guys, I will see you guys away. Go be awesome on purpose. And until next time, happy signing. If you are in the coaching program, I will see you this evening at 6. I was like, what time is it? At 6 o'clock. All right, guys, I'll see you luego. Bye. Do you hate your job? Trust me, I've been there. Dreading Mondays, can't wait for Fridays. Did you know you didn't have to live like that? I did for years until I found my notary commission. Now you're probably thinking, how in the world is a notary making great money? I teach you that in my Ultimate Notary Training Bundle. I'm going to teach you how you take a simple notary commission and begin generating 6 figures for yourself and your business. You don't have to stay in the rat race. You can actually live the life that you would love to wake up to every single day. Don't delay. Click the link below, and I'll teach you how to gain time and financial freedom through the notary industry. Join me online.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I want to show you guys how I was able to get started as a notary signing agent making $10,000 a month. When I first got started in 2015, I had no idea how lucrative this business was. So much so that I was able to quit my full-time job in 2016. Over the next few years, I've had so many successes and failures that I took all of them and bundled them up into a training program just for you. The training is available at notarytonotary.com, and there are 2 programs that you can register for: the Notary Signing Agent Training and the e-Notary Training. Make sure that your state licenses e-notaries before you register for that training. Once you register, you'll have instant access to the online training platform, as well as access to our live weekly interactive webinars with replay capabilities. Ready to get started? Register today at notarytonotary.com. Until then, happy signing!